Hi there, I'm Tom from Uprate, and I just wanted to record a quick video just to show the new features that we've released today. So there's four main features. There's the ability to track hire contract status on an individual date, the ability to set custom labels on individual dates on the scheduler, the ability to create more than one hire contract for a job in the system, and then also a pop-up just to confirm before you cancel an assignment. So I'll just step through each of those quickly now just to show you what we've added. The first one is uh, the hire contract status on individual days. So if I go to the weekly scheduler, I'm in my weekly labour scheduler, and I zoom that in a bit. You'll see here I've got John Doe on Baker Street, Monday to Wednesday. You see that we've added these little indicators for hire contract status. So that at the moment, this is all sent, meaning that we've sent a hire contract to the customer for this job. If I click on one of these, you'll see that you get a drop down and I can change it from sent to exists, needs review, no hire contract, or not required. So if I change it to no hire contract, that will update. If I now click this button here at the top, hire contract, that just means that the scheduler will now be colored based on the hire contract status. So because um, the Wednesday isn't covered by hire contract based on what I've just done, you'll see that there's now no border color and this bit at the bottom of the assignment is now grayed out. So if I set that back to confirmed or if I set that back to hire contract sent, it's now all green and I'm all covered. So if I book a new job for Sam Smith, I'll book them onto this Keltbray job. You'll see by default it's going to set to no hire contract. So this just lets you know that the hire desk has booked something in, and then now we need to create or update the contract for this job and get it sent out to the customer. So how I would do that, I would go right click, open contract, can access the hire contract here if there is one, or I can go click hire contract to jump to it. So I won't do that now, but basically I would go and create or edit a hire contract for this job. And once I've done that, I would just update that to say it's sent, and then everybody knows now that this date, Monday the 9th of Feb for Sam Smith, is all covered by the contract. So yeah, new dates default to no hire contract, or if you add new dates as well, so if I go in there and say Sam's now working Tuesday and Wednesday as well, you'll see that the Tuesday and Wednesday are defaulting to no hire contract because obviously when I sent out the contract in the first place, that only covered the Monday. So the system assumes that you now need to edit that contract, which you would do, and then you would mark it as sent. So that's the first update. Very similar, we've also added what we're calling the custom labels to individual dates. So if you click custom labels at the top here, you'll see, again, for this Baker Street job, I've marked each of these days as confirmed booking. If I click on one of those, we've got our list of labels that we've already added for you. So provisional, verbally agreed, confirmed, on hold, or cancelled. So for that new job that I just booked for Sam Smith, it's all empty. There's nothing on there yet, but I can go day by day and I can say that this is just a provisional booking. And the reason we've put it on the individual dates rather than on the whole job, which is what it was doing before, is because you obviously might have, you might have the Monday and Tuesday as all confirmed, and the Wednesday is now on hold. So you just need individual dates to be a different label, rather than the whole thing only being one. So yeah, this should hopefully keep track of booking status for any of your jobs, so you know what's going ahead, what's provisional, what's on hold, what's on cancelled, etc. Um, Third item, you can now create more than one hire contract for a given job. So if I create a new job in the system, I've gone to Balfour BT, create a contract for them, got hire contracts under here, so I'll create a new one. I'll say it's starting on February 23rd. Crane is being rented for £1,000 per week, and then I can send that off to the customer if I want to. If I now want to create a second contract for this, previously I wasn't able to. I was only had the one that was available to me. So if this is a 2 week job and the customers ask me for one contract per week, um, previously I wasn't able to do that. Whereas now, if I've got my first week covered, 23rd of Feb, And I'll update that and say it's running until Sunday, the 1st of March. If I now want to do a second contract for the 2nd of March through to the end of that week, I can go back to here, go back to the main contract page, go create, click create again, and then I can say this one's going to run the 2nd of March until Sunday the 8th. So yeah, if you want to have multiple contracts on the job for some reason, either because it's more than 1 week and you just want a contract per week, or because you're actually providing two separate sets of products or services and actually they need to be under different contracts, we've just given you the ability to do that. So yeah, they can overlap. They don't have to be on separate dates, or you can set them up so the dates are different for each one. Create as many contracts as you like. You can still also amend. So if I've sent a job out to the customer and I've sent the contract, and actually I don't want a new one, I just want a new version of that one that I've sent, you can click the little three ellipsis buttons here. You've got send, which is obviously sending it to the customer. New version, which will create version, in this case 1.1. That's the same contract, but a new version of it. Or duplicate, and that's just a shortcut for if I wanted to create a brand new contract, but I wanted to use this one as a template. So if I go, if I open this one up, I've got that contract open here. This is obviously what the customer would see. If they then call me up and say, actually, we want to add a slinger to that as well, or a driver to that, obviously I can just jump straight in and do that edit, and that will come through in real time to the customer. But if I want a record of this original contract, say I want a record of what was originally quoted versus what we've now changed it to, what I can do is I can say new version, that will create version 1.1. If I go back there, you'll see that the number's now updated to 1.1. I'll then add driver for £900 per week. And then if I preview that, I can send that out to the customer again. I can trigger the email, but if I preview that, you'll see on this version now I've got previous versions and I've got that version 1 still available to me. So this is now the most up-to-date version that the customer can sign. If I go back to the original one that I opened, this is version 1, you'll see that they can't sign this anymore because we've already created the new version, but what they can do is go to version 2, which has a driver on it. So version 1, crane only, version 2, crane and driver. So this is good if you just want a bit of an audit trail for what's changed on the contract sort of as it's developed. As I say, you can just make live edits, but then you won't have that history necessarily of what's changed. So yeah, this is quite good just for making sort of more formal edits that you want recorded. And then the final one I'm going to show is just find a job on the scheduler. So John Doe booked onto Baker Street. If I right click and I say cancel from this date onwards, so this is cancelling from the 10th of Feb, we've just introduced this pop-up just as a bit of a warning or confirmation pop-up to say you're about to cancel it, it can't be undone, are you sure? If you are happy, then you just say I understand, and then cancel, and then that's just going to cancel those dates. So I cancelled from the Tuesday the 10th onwards. So yeah, just a bit of a check to make sure that you're happy that you're cancelling it and it can't be undone, just because we had some feedback that said we should probably put a confirmation sort of modal in there. So yeah, that's what we've done there. There's also a load of smaller improvements and tweaks that we've made, but I won't go through them in this video. I'll document them on the website and you can have a look in your own time. All right, thank you.